Hello, and welcome to what will most likely be my second to last stream this month. I'm Mr. G, and in this video, I'm going to be live streaming myself working on my own personal website for a few hours. So, for those of you that might be new or stumbling upon this video for the first time, basically I created a challenge, a bet for myself against one of my friends that I could stream 60 hours this month. And currently we are at 50 hours, 15 minutes, and 41 seconds. Now, for anyone that has been watching, I'm back on my my home computer, my iMac, and I actually am wired in. So and what I mean by that is that I actually brought an Ethernet cable and I hooked up my computer directly to the wall to see if, well, not the wall, but the router, just to see if that helps with our connection issues that we've been having over the past 2 weeks. So at the start of the bet, actually on day one, I had a lot of trouble with my computer not being able to handle the stream. So I had to basically change my plan over the next couple days. And what I started noticing is that, about a week and a half in, 2 weeks in, my internet was dropping the stream or completely losing packets for seconds and seconds at a time. So I decided. That's why if you look through the list of videos, you'll see that there are lots of some videos have multiple parts. That's because my internet went down and then I restarted the thing. Let me actually start the timer because we need all the minutes we can get here. All right, so we're at 50, 15, 41. All right. We won't need the terminal today. I started off with a couple of other projects, something related to work, but that I thought would be good learning experiences. But we've kind of drifted away from that. And actually, we kind of finished. I wouldn't say finished, but we got one maybe 80% of the way there. The second one, the form submission, I got some things working, but then I wanted to change of pace, and then I figured it would be a good idea to work on my own personal website. And I started to create a plan after having some discussions with having a discussion with a student, and then talking to some other people on how to actually grow, my personal brand, or this channel or a website and stuff like that. So I've decided that that's going to be my next challenge, and I might as well start doing it while I'm doing this challenge. Although I'm probably not going to make a bet on this because some of these things I just can't control. So all I can control is what I do to try to get more viewers, to try to increase the community. But I can't I'm not going to go out and buy likes or buy followers or subscribers because that's not me. But it would be nice to get some organic growth. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on after this streaming challenge is done. And actually, now that I think about it, now that I'm kind of talking about it, yesterday I kind of figured that, or I kind of decided that if I do decide to live stream again, it's not going to be on YouTube. Most likely not going to be on YouTube, unless I do a once a month kind of thing where it's I do Q&As. So maybe in my videos, I'll say, if you have any questions, stop by the monthly Q&A, maybe on the 31st of every month or 30th of every month or so. But I'm probably not going to use YouTube for live streaming anything remotely close to this. I think it was a mistake to use YouTube, and I mentioned all this in my previous video. But we're gonna finish off the 60 hours. Hopefully, we have 2 days left, including today. And we just have about 9 hours and 42 minutes, sorry. My math is off a little bit. And we're going to continue where we left off. In the last stream, actually, hold on, there's a couple of updates. Hopefully we have no dropped frames, no issues. Let's update our plugins. So I've been using WordPress for my own personal website. And the nice thing about WordPress is that you don't really have to do much coding if you don't want to. So, there's a lot of different plugins that allow you to bring in, if you're used to Scratch or Snap, they're kind of blocks or libraries that automatically do specific things that you might want on your website without having to use code or without having to write code. But you can edit pretty much everything in code if you want. So like, I can't remember exactly what the bug was, but a couple months ago when I first started working on this, there was something wrong in the code for the site, and I went crazy trying to find it, and I figured out what it was by using the string locator, and like I just cannot remember for the life of me what it was. And then I found other people were having the same, with the same issue were like posting in forums, and there were no fixes for it. But I went crazy trying to find out like what was causing this specific thing, and I honestly cannot remember it right now. But that's neither here nor there either, because I don't even remember what the bug was. So I guess when I encounter it again, or if I encounter it again, maybe they fixed it, because I was using 5.4 point something, and now they're up to 5.5. So it's possible that they kind of fixed it, and I updated my site. So for anyone who maybe hasn't seen this before or watched the last couple streams, basically I have a couple of sections right now. A computer science section, which I plan on fleshing out, over the coming weeks also, maybe in my spare time, and my Learn Scratch section, which is what I'm focusing on right now because, the school years are about to start up. Hey, Vin. Yes, I am going to be, I guess you just missed it. I am going to be, if I do live streams again like this, or if I do like daily live streams or every other day, or like do another live streaming challenge, it's going to be on Twitch. It's not going to be on YouTube. But if I do use YouTube, I'm going to, what I'll probably do is do like a monthly live stream Q&A thing. So if anyone has any questions from my videos, like while watching one of my videos, like every, I don't know, the last Saturday in the month or something, I'll be available to answer questions. So that's how I think I'm going to use YouTube for live streaming in the future. Because I can't imagine that I don't think it was a good idea to do this do it this way on YouTube. But Twitch, definitely. I actually really think Twitch is a better platform for live streaming something like this, where people might be interested or might want to hang out or whatever. I could also post a thing on YouTube to give a link for Twitch, probably when you stream. Yes, I could do. I think I need. So the thing is, I think I need like a certain number of subscribers to be able to like make posts or stories on YouTube. I've noticed some like creators have started trying to use that or whatever, but I'll see I'll see if I can figure that out eventually. So this is what I worked on the other night, and we're going to continue today with these topics. We're just going to try to blast through these topics, or it does take me a while to write them. If I had like no distractions and I was just like focused, like in the zone, I could probably do one every hour and be like somewhat happy with like posting it publicly. But actually depends on how many pictures I use and how like crazy I go over like little details, which is like I guess one of my flaws, where I'm kind of like a perfectionist, where I like certain things to look certain ways when it comes to like things I create or that I like share publicly. So sometimes that holds me back a bit. Anyways, came to drop a like. We'll drop by later. Sounds good, Vinny. I'm gonna be here for. I'm wired in, so I hooked up my. I brought an Ethernet cable, so I don't think I'm gonna have any internet issues today. Hopefully, if it was caused by Wi-Fi, hopefully I don't have any issues today. So I plan on streaming a lot of hours because we have 9 hours to go, 2 days, and it's gonna require some hours of streaming. So thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll see you later. Okay, so getting back to where I was. So I have my pages contain the sections of the website. Like I said, I have the Scratch section, the computer science section, and you might notice there's others here that are private that I was, considering making sections on in the future, or publishing posts about, for anyone trying to learn Swift, learn JavaScript, learn Bitcoin, stuff like that. And books, maybe like some book recommendations, book reviews, something like that. So those are a little bit more far off. I'll have to like build out and grow the community first. But I think my focus should be on Scratch and computer science, because that's what most people that I guess find my channel, most students and teachers that find my channel right now, they're coming for Scratch. they're coming for snap. They're coming for maybe some computer sciencey kind of stuff. So that's going to be my focus for now. You gotta go where the where your viewer. You gotta satisfy your viewers, I guess, in a sense, or the people that are looking at your stuff. So how to move a sprite on the stage. Is that something I started? Oh no, that was how to add a sprite in Scratch. Oh, I had started it. So now I'm remembering. It was late the other night when I finished streaming. It was like 4:30 in the morning. But let me just see. Okay. Yeah, I had started this article, this post, and did not finish it. Almost finished it, or almost got to the point where I was like satisfied, calling it done or whatever. With calling it done. I think I was just missing this last section. I had to finish off with this last section. So now that you've created multiple scripts and are comfortable with finding and connecting blocks, we need to learn how to instruct our sprites when to follow the instructions we've coded. Instructions that we've coded. I mean, either one works. The events palette contains hat blocks named after their shape that can be connected at the top of each script, instructing sprites to follow the code sequence upon detecting an event. And an event is going to be a vocabulary word. So I'm just going to bold it for now. Maybe I'll decide to use a vocab word color in the future. Available events include... I thought I had written some of the events, but maybe not. Maybe I had forgotten or didn't save or something. So let me open up Scratch and let's see what the events that are available are. Okay, let me actually go split screen here. So I could have Scratch on the right and my... Oh, I forget this is in Windows. I can't just drag it in. I can't just drag it to the edge and expect it to work. Why is this not... Oh, there we go. Let's make this a little bit narrower. And I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so the events that are available are when the green flag is clicked. Wait, what am I looking at? Oh, we got to look at the edit button. Here we go. Include, I think I should, instead of just like putting them in line, I should just create a picture that has all of them there. So let's do that. Let us create, let me do it over here so I could see the blocks. So scratch blocks dot github.io. Whoops. .github.io. All right, so what Scratch Blocks is, it allows you to create your own custom blocks, or create blocks or images of blocks that you can then use elsewhere, like on a website or on a presentation or whatever. Instead of screenshotting the blocks and having the background and maybe having to edit that out, you can use Scratch Blocks. And the nice thing is you could also export an SVG. So I think it's a scalar vector graphics or scaled vector graphics. What's SVG stand for? Scalable vector graphics, that's what it stands for. And so that allows you to increase and decrease the size of an image or something and not lose fidelity, not lose its quality, because it's based on mathematical, like the math that creates the specific shapes of the image. So that's what SVG is. PNG would just be an image, and it's like, if you blow it up, if you stretch it out, you're going to see like it's going to become a little bit more pixelated or grainy. But if you just leave it at 100%, like at its 100% size, it should be clear. So I'll be exporting PNGs. Let's create when green flag clicked. Then we'll have how do we do this? Space key pressed. That's how you do it. So if you don't use the right shorthand code, the text code, it'll make the block red. So like, for example, if I do that, there is no when space key press with an E and no D at the end. So it's not able to understand what block I'm trying to create. So I have to make sure that I'm like, you nail the words that you should use. If I put them, yeah, it doesn't make a difference because hat blocks don't connect to other blocks. So this is pretty smart. This system is pretty smart at detecting the command blocks that should lock in with other blocks. And if there is a space in between, it'll create it won't connect them. But for hat blocks, you can't connect hat blocks to each other like that. They are like the starting point for a script. So they detect the events that will fire off a script that you've created. So let's do that when sprite clicked. So some of these are pretty, maybe that's not it. When this sprite clicked. There we go. So some of these are pretty self-explanatory, or like the names, the words that you should use to create the sprites, it's pretty obvious. But some of them are a little bit more difficult, and then that's when I go into the help section. So I go into help and I try to find the text-based version of it. The thing is that it loads so quickly that sometimes you have to like refresh a billion times just to really catch it. So each one of these images, I mean, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I just don't know how to capture or how to figure out what the words are exactly. I see them here, but there are some sections I think where they don't have the words. Or maybe this is new. Maybe they've changed it up, or maybe I was never paying attention before. Like let's do motion. So let me show you on this website. Like if I go to the motion palette over here, I mean, where does it say? Like it's hard to see what, like clearly where what the text is. So like this script right here, they don't really show anywhere exactly how to get that one. But if you refresh, it shows it really quickly. The problem is my computer and my internet are too fast right now, and I'm not able to see it. So or I have to do it multiple times to be able to catch it, because it happens really fast. But let's continue. When this sprite clicked, let's do. How many more are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll put all 6 there. Whatever. So when this sprite clicked, when backdrop switches to, and for these drop downs, it's usually the braces with a V at the end. That's how I know. So like I could put whatever in here, but I'll just put what it actually says, backdrop 1. So if anyone's just following along, reading along, or has Scratch open as well, there's not going to be an issue there. When loudness is greater than, and then usually with inputs, it's the parentheses, just like in most text-based programming languages. So far, no dropped frames. I think we have an excellent connection, and we're doing good. So I'm pretty happy so far, but I probably shouldn't speak too soon, because we do have 9.5 hours to go. It'd be kind of cool to bang it all out today and just get it done. The problem is I'm going to be hungry fairly soon, because I had a cup of oatmeal, and I didn't really, I mean, I have it, but it doesn't really fill me up. So I'm probably going to feel hungry eventually. When I receive, and then this is going to be, again, message 1, like that. So those are my 6 blocks. Do I like how spaced out they are? Well, we'll see what the actual the thing looks like. Let's export this PNG. We're going to allow it to download, and now it should be in my downloads folder here. So I could bring it into my. Actually, before I bring it into anything, I want to look at it in my. I want to look at it in Google Drawings. So Google Drawings is what I use, like 95% of the time to do pictures and manipulate them and change things and create picture thumbnails or whatever. But let me just lower the volume. I think I might be peaking a little bit here. You know, maybe 4% of the time I use something like Canva, and then 1% of the time I used Photopea, which I used the other night. So I mean, they're kind of spaced out a little bit too much. But you know what I could do? I could make a copy, and what we'll do is we'll break this in half. So we'll split this one down to here, and this one up to there. So now they're the same height, I hope. Actually, they might not be exactly the same. No, they're not going to be exactly the same. Let me make the... it'll get cut off. Okay, you know what I could do? I could bring that down a little bit. Wait, hold on. Before I make huge mistakes here. if I bring it up a little bit and then bring this down, oh no, it's even worse. So maybe I should just, how's it look right now, actually? Oh, you know, it's going right to the edge. So let's, you know, why don't we make this a little bit shorter? And that should look decently good. I could make this narrower. So this is what I was talking about before, where it's like sometimes I want things to look a certain way, and the cost of that is time. So that slows me down a bit, which isn't good sometimes when I'm trying to get things done quickly. I almost never get things done quickly because it takes me so long to be happy with what I'm creating or the result or whatever. So we're gonna leave it at this. I think this looks pretty decent. We have our 6 hat blocks, and they look somewhat okay. I mean, it might not be perfect. It's not perfect. I mean, you could see. So like if I hold this against the bottom edge of that, on the left side you see that there's a little gap, and that's because this right side. See, these are the things I'm talking about. This right side isn't set up the same way as the left side. I think this is good. I think I got it. Or at least I'm very, very close. So we're gonna go with this. We're gonna take the W and we're gonna call this the hat blocks. If I could spell. And I'm gonna export this as a PNG, which I'm then gonna import into my I'm going to import this into my WordPress. So let's do that. Where's my Finder? I just lost. Actually, available events include, and then I'll put the blocks. Oops, let's make this a let's add an image. It's in the desktop. That's the, what did I call it? Hat blocks. There it is. Okay, so we're going to select that, and there we have our hat blocks. So we're going to center them, and we'll say these are the hat blocks in the events palette. And this I want to put in quotes because I don't think hat blocks is the official, I don't think that's like an official name for them, but that's what like a lot of people call them. They call them hat blocks. All right, so now that you've created multiple scripts and are comfortable with finding and connecting blocks, we need to learn how to instruct when to follow. The events palette contains hat blocks named after their shape that can be connected at the, I guess now that I have it in quotes up here, maybe I don't need it down here. I'll leave it just to be consistent. Available events include, okay, so now I want to give an example of what one could look like. So, and this is getting people that are like new to this to start reading code and start really processing line by line, understanding how this is interpreted by the browser or what's actually happening. So, hold on one second. I keep getting texts from one of my friends. Okay. So, where was I? Oh yeah, so I want to show an example of like what a script could look like. So like for example, when the green flag is clicked, we could do move 50 steps and then say hello world for 2 seconds. Did I use hello world elsewhere on my website? I guess let me pull it up. So G coding. Hello world. Okay, so I use the same kind of thing here, but we're gonna use it again right there. So when the green flag is clicked, move 50 steps and then say hello world. Or maybe the thing is, if someone recreates this, So I'm already anticipating that if someone recreates this, they're going to click the green flag and it's just going to say hello world, because you're not going to really see the movement of the 50 steps because it happens so quickly. So I think I'm going to rearrange that to say hello world for 2 seconds and then move 50 steps. So that'll make it that'll minimize the chance of confusion for someone that's maybe recreating the code that I create there. So let me export that and we will import it here. And what did I call that? Actually, no, I don't want to import exactly what was just downloaded, because that's going to have a huge space at the bottom. So let's just create a new drawing, and we will import that, the one that was just saved, which was probably under Scratch Blocks 1. Nope, that's not it. Maybe Scratch Blocks negative. That's not what we want. Where did we? Oh, it probably got saved in the downloads folder, because I think Safari saves my downloads in the downloads folder. So there it is. Here it is. Okay, so we're gonna crop it a little bit so that it's a little bit smaller. Okay, and then this will that will be our image that we're going to export. So I'm happy with that. And then let's export it as sample script, or sample 3-line script. Let's download this, save it on the desktop. Now let's go back here. Now we could upload it. So we saved it as sample 3-line script. There we go. And it does look a little bit too big, so I'm going to make it smaller and then center it. All right, so now that I look at this, I think I should have text in between the image above and what I'm showing here, the example that I'm showing. So let's, how do I create another a block? So let's create a paragraph block, and I'm going to move it up. There we go. So, for example, when it still looks too big, in my opinion. How do I make it smaller? How do I shrink it? Oh, maybe when I uploaded it, that was the only opportunity I had to, you know what? No, the size looks fine. It looks pretty close to what we have up here. So we'll go with that. So for example, if you'd like your sprite to say, hello world. Oh, I didn't realize that Safari did my autocorrect for me. If you'd like your sprite to say hello world for 2 seconds and then move forward 50 steps on the stage, or across the stage, the script. Okay. No, hold on. Let me think of how I should say that. So if you'd like, how about instead of for example, we'll say suppose you'd like your sprite to say, no. Suppose you'd like your sprite to say hello world for 2 seconds. And then move forward 50 steps across the stage. If you just use a say, move is going to be that light blue, so let's change that color. if you just connect. If you just connect the say and move blocks, you still need to tell the sprite when it should be following those instructions. Enter hat blocks. I don't know. No, I mean that sounds silly. You still need to tell the sprite when it should be following those instructions. This sounds like a job. No, that sounds like a job for. No, I think it's also silly. Suppose you'd like your sprite to say hello world for 2 seconds and then move forward 50 steps across the stage. If you only connect the say and move blocks, when it should be following those instructions. Connect one of the hat blocks from above, one of the event to the top of the script, and now your sprite will behave as desired when the green flag is clicked. And let's use the inline image green flag that we have in our media library. When the green flag is clicked. Sample script with a hat block attached. I think that's pretty good. I'm actually kind of happy with what we have here. Let me just. Do I have it? I don't think I have a video just on events. But maybe I should make a video on events. Let's go to the channel, youtube.com/Mr. G Coding. I just don't think I have one on events. But that's a good idea of something I should make then. Let's see. I mean, I use events all the time. Everyone has to. But, and I probably mention it too in some of the videos. But, yeah, so I'm going to need to make a video on that. So let's add that to the text edit. So as we go through this, how to add a sprite. Is that what no, how to move a sprite on the stage. Let's move down how to set starting positions for a sprite. We'll do that one next. I think it's better to do how to move a sprite. And I covered all these things, right? The coordinate plane, the go to, the glide, change X, change Y, go to random position right here. Perfect. So we got all the topics we wanted to hit. Let me just make it a little bit smaller by just using commas instead of separate lines for each one of these items that I wanted to bring in here. Okay, so how to move a sprite? We're gonna say that's pretty much done. But what isn't done, we don't need the hyphens. What isn't done is the fact that we should now create a hat block events video covering the 6 hat blocks. So I'm going to put something I should do. What should I make it? How to do... I'll put it in yellow. We're going to use this bright yellow. Or maybe the one right above it. So we'll use yellow to like tell ourselves this is something we should make. All right, how to set starting positions for sprites. Uh-oh, bad news. I'm starting to feel hungry. So I guess maybe I should run and grab a granola bar. Nah, we'll push through. We'll push through. We're only like, we're not even an hour. We're 45 minutes in. There's no way. No, not even. We're 30 minutes in. There's no way I should take a break to eat already. I should just push through for at least 2 hours. Let's say maybe we'll take a break at 2 hours just because I haven't been streaming for that long. All right, so this article looks pretty good. I think we could end. Oh, we need to end with a challenge. So it's not really done. Almost done. But let's end with a challenge for someone going through this or reading this. So the challenge, and how did I structure that? Oh, and I just noticed that we should have an image on how to add a sprite in Scratch. So I'll figure out what image we should use, and I think I should make it like 150 by 150. So we'll figure that stuff out. And actually, I can't let it slide yet. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna create the drawing. And this is going to be the add sprite toolbar button thing. So let's bring this in from the Scratch interface. So I'm going to go to Scratch. Where's the Scratch interface? Right over here. Down here at the bottom, actually you don't even see it. Let me just stretch this out. Down here at the bottom we have this choose sprite button. So I want to kind of make this bigger. Let's go as big as we can go. There we go. It's probably like 400%. So what I want to do is, I just want to take a screenshot of this. I think I did it on my other computer, but I don't have I'm not on that other computer. So how do we get back to 100%? That would be nice if they told you if you're at 100%. That looks about right. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do is use remove background. So as I mentioned once before, remove background uses AI and machine learning to remove the background intelligently. So it's going to look at this. It's going to probably find the contrasting colors, and then remove all the ones that are it removes all the white color surrounding the icon you see on screen right now. So this is what I want. So I'm going to download it. And now that it's downloaded, I can bring it into my Google Drawings here. And what I want to do is I want to make sure it's centered, and I want to make sure that it's the right size. So let's go with, I believe it's 150 by 150. So let's do pixels. 150 by 150. Okay, wow. So, we got to go bigger with this thing. It's going to look a little blurry because it's just the way that we're scaling it up. Actually, it's not even centered. I got to center it here in this image first. So I'm going to crop out the top, the bottom, the left, and the right. pretty good. And now I could, I'll just stretch it out. Well, pretty close to 150 by 150. All right, so we're gonna use that, and that'll be the featured image for that article. So I guess every article needs a featured image. It's just the way we're gonna have to do it. PNG. Add sprite toolbar button. That's a fine name for it. And now we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna make sure we. Let me open this up again. What was that? How to add a sprite in Scratch. So I think this requires a featured image. Right here. We're gonna set the featured image, and we're gonna import the thing we just created. Add sprite toolbar button. PNG. Right? Is that the one we just created? It must be. It must be. Let me just double check that. This saved in the desktop. And so here we're in the desktop. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, it says 150 by 150, the dimensions. So that must be our... Oh no, we also had it down here. But this was 134 by 126. So we're just gonna use this new one that I uploaded. And we're gonna make sure that we're gonna disable the featured image in the article. So that way I don't see it at the top. I don't want to see this button at the top. And actually while we're here, I guess we could delete the old one, because this one's like perfect. So let's use an inline image here. Let's insert an inline image and use the one we just created, the 150 by 151. So we're going to select that, and it's going to be a little bit too big, so we'll set its width to, let's say, 50. Yeah, 50 looks fine. Let me hit update, and I believe now if I look at my articles in here, if I refresh. Actually, let me make sure I'm out of the way. Oh, no, you could all see that. Okay, now we see the how to add a sprite in Scratch icon. So I like the way that looks, I think. Yeah, I think I like the way that looks. That looks pretty good. All right, so we don't need that. If we need remove background, we'll come back to that, but we don't really need it right now. So the article I just created, how to add a sprite in Scratch, let's... Wait a second. No, that was not the one I just created. The one I just created is this one. How to move a sprite on the stage. Okay, so I have to think about an image for that. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe I'll use the Scratch character again, but I'll have like lines behind him so he looks like he's moving. So moving a character on screen. Where did I get that image? Did I just make it myself? And I think I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to... Well, let's see if I actually have it in here. Where's that cat? Not in here. All right, so we're just going to have to make it from scratch. So let's do File, New, Drawing. And this one's going to be called Scratch Moving. And I guess we're gonna have to do a file. You know what? Let's see if we can find an image of him. Scratch MIT mascot or character. There he is. Let's see if we can find a good one that's transparent. Oh goodness. That one's moving. This one's not. And it's transparent. The issue is that it doesn't look exactly like the other one. This one looks a little different than this one. You know what? I must have created the image myself by taking a picture. Yeah, so I mean, I guess we're gonna have to just make it ourselves. So There we go. We increase the size of our thing. It looks a little blurry though if I blow it up like that. But all right, let's just take this. We'll remove the background on it, and you'll see that we might have a slight issue when we do remove background. But I think I'll know how to fix it. So the image we just took, the screenshot was of this cat. We downloaded it. So now it's kind of hard for me to see because this monitor is terrible. It's so old that I can't really see the like how the background is, but I think actually it might be okay. It might be fine. I just can't tell if like the white on his face has been removed as well. But it doesn't look like it. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, it has. Okay. So it looks like they've removed the white on his face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore that. And his eyes possibly. So all you got to do is just restore what's been removed. Actually, you should be able to see what I'm doing exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and his chest also has been altered. He needs his white there. And this is where using a mouse comes in handy versus using a trackpad. I think his tail as well. So I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now we just got to make this a little bit smaller and go over the tail. Okay, so there we go. I think we fixed them. Now we can download them. All right, so the image was downloaded over to here. So we'll call this the Scratch No Background, Scratch No BG. And let's go over to back to the browser window, and let's bring in the cat. Let's make this 150 by 150 as well. So we'll go 150 by 150. Now we can make him a bit bigger. Oh no, he looks blurry. Is it blurry because I shrunk the background? Possibly. So let's cut him out here and then shrink the background. Or the canvas. 150 by 150 pixels. Oh, I thought I was doing it in inches, so it just really made it smaller. There we go. I mean, I guess it just looks the way it looks. So that's the way the cat looks. Now to show motion, you want to show like motion. Let's go to PNG Guru and see if we can find like some sort of motion kind of thing. See, I want like kind of like lines like this, but with the cat. I mean, maybe I could. I'll see if they just have the lines somewhere. I mean, that would be kind of funny. Put the cat right there. Or the cat's head on this guy. Let's all right, let's see if we could if I use a soccer ball, I won't be able to like remove the rest of this. So I guess maybe we'll use the Kamehameha. We'll see how that looks. It can't hurt. We'll try it out and see how that looks. So the PNG Guru. put it on the desktop, and then let's go back to our Scratch moving. So we'll put the Kamehameha behind him. Oh no, it's showing the you can. Oh, wait a second, this is not looking good at all. I think. No, it looks terrible. All right, so we're not going to do that. Let's maybe we'll draw our own lines. Can we do that? Maybe we could do these curved lines. Wait a sec. And maybe instead of a white background also we'll make this we'll use like the motion palette blue that Scratch uses. So there we go. We're going to move that back. We're going to make it the right blue. We'll figure out what that blue is in a little bit. I mean, that doesn't look too bad either, but this does not look good enough. Let's go 4. Is that too thick? I mean, kind of. It kind of works. I don't know why the edges come up like this. What is up with that? Maybe because it's trying to do an arrow of some sort. No arrows. What are you doing? Or is it because of the cat? No, it's just how it comes out. That's really weird. But I think I can. Can't I like curve it? No. I mean I can. I just don't want to do that one. All right, let's delete some of these things and we'll try again with this one. This one looks better. If I make it longer, what is that? Oh, you know what it's doing? Oh, that's what it is. It's like some sort of curve like that. But I don't really need that. I just need lines. There must be let's just draw lines. And just make sure that it's like thick enough. 3 looks fine, I guess. 1, 2, 3. And when I said 3, I meant like the thickness of it. 4. Move the cat over a little bit. That kind of looks like motion. It's not great. We'll move it over just a bit, and we'll call it a day. I think that's okay. Maybe one more, a couple more, 1 or 2 more. There we go. Yeah, that looks fine. You know what? I'm okay with it. Let's use that. Is it centered vertically now? There we go. Now it's centered. Alright, that's fine. Let's save this. Download it as a PNG. Scratch moving. And in our project, the one we just created, we're going to use that. I think we have to publish it first. We'll save the preview. Oh yeah, we need a challenge first. I wrote done like a bunch of minutes ago, but we are not done. We need a challenge. I just want to see how I wrote the challenge instructions here. Challenge hyphen add more sprites. All right, so for this challenge hyphen, what do I want to challenge someone to do? Okay, I got it. Move sprite when clicked. So how did I do the wording? Try adding. Okay, so try. Oh, I clicked something else. All right, so try writing code that causes. I know I'm in the way right now. Let me move this over a little bit, just like that. Try writing code. Try writing a script that causes the cat move to a, or causes the sprite to move to a random location on the stage when it is directly clicked. When it is clicked, not directly clicked. When it is clicked. Oh, I kind of want to make a GIF of that so someone could see what that looks like. And I could do that. So it would look, I mean, let me write the code first, and then we'll see if we can make a GIF while we're recording. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna put the iMac to its paces over here a little bit. All right, so that's gonna be when this sprite is clicked, go to random location. So that's really what I want someone to do. So there's no thing needed there. All right, so let's see if we can do this. We're gonna open up Camtasia because that's the software I could use to make a recording. And let me close out some of these Finder windows. Let's do a new recording. I'm so nervous right now that this is gonna cause the stream to drop. But so far we haven't dropped one frame for the last almost hour, so I think being wired in is connected directly with an Ethernet cable is the way to go. Oh, yeah. So this is the window I want to record. Okay, so it's asking me how I want to record this. I don't need to record the microphone. I'm just gonna hit start recording and actually run it. Okay. So let me bring in the mouse slowly. Okay, that should be enough. Let's stop recording. I'm gonna bring my my Camtasia over here. So now you could see this is what it looks like when I'm editing a video. This is what it looks like. And actually, it looks like the iMac can handle it. I mean, it better, considering how much I paid for this thing. But I think we got it. I think we can make it. All right, so let's crop this bad boy. Yeah, it's gonna be an all white background. That's fine. Okay. That's okay. Now we just gotta crop the when I actually did it. Okay. So starting right there, let me trim that, bring that over. Maybe I could make the cursor. I'm gonna use cursor smoothing and see how that looks. And I'm also gonna do the cursor effect, the left click, because it's hard to see that I actually clicked on it. So let's see what that looks like. All right, that's a little bit too slow. So let's, instead of 1.25, let's make that 0.75. So 3/4 of a second. Let's see what that looks like. That looks good. All right, so that was a 10-second GIF. We'll cut it right there. All right, let's export that. And I think I could select it as or I could make it a GIF. Here we go. Export to animated GIF. We're going to call this Scratch. What do we call this? Scratch clicking game, whatever it is. What are the options? Automatic, project dimensions, infinite loops. We're good. Let's export this, see what it looks like. Look at it flying through that. Reveal in the Finder. Let me close out Camtasia. Well, before we close out, let's see what it looks like. I should be able to open up my browser and drag it up there. So that's what the GIF looks like. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I should have these black borders on it though. You know what? We'll leave them. We'll see what it looks like for now. All right. So now let me get out of 100% mode here. There we go. Let's go back to our your project should your project should appear like this. And now here is where I add that image. And let's see if we can actually watch or upload a GIF. I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is 2020. So this was called Scratch Clicking Game. I'm going to hit choose. And I think I'm okay with that. I think it's uploading right now. Let me see how big it is, actually, the file. 759 kilobytes. It's a little big, but nothing that most computers can't handle. Can you? I'm trying to think. No caption. We'll just leave it at that. Let's save the draft. It's centered, right? Align center. Save the draft again. Let's publish it and go with it. Let's or actually let's go back to the document. We got to give it a featured image. And this I said was we were going to do the bring over the thing. We have our Scratch moving image that we created that we have to upload. So Scratch moving, and that's going to be our featured image for that. So set featured image. This one I want to give it also an order. Okay. And we don't want to show the featured image, so we're going to disable it from inside of the article or the post. Okay, publish. Did we set tags? Oh, we got to probably fix that. Categories also, we didn't give it a category. It's uncategorized right now. So we're going to go with Scratch. This is the events palette and motion. So motion, events, and that's it. Let's go to our tags. Scratch programming, Scratch coding, Scratch. If anyone knows about tags and how Google SEO works, like I would love to know if these tags or these categories actually get something happens. So what was this again? Coordinate. Scratch coordinates. Scratch motion, scratch events. Motion blocks. Scratch. Maybe instead of scratch motion, I'll just do motion blocks and event blocks. Motion blocks, event blocks. We did have a control block, but there wasn't a priority there. Hat blocks, which are event blocks, but... Alright, let's go with that. Let's update it, and let's see what that looks like on in our final product on the website. Let me stretch this out a little bit. We're going to see what that looks like when we once we add it to our menu. So let's go to Appearance, Menus, and let's bring that in. So the post is called How to Move a Sprite on the Stage. And we want to rename it number 4. Save menu. There we go. Now we should be able to see the finished product. So let's go back to Mr. G Coding. Let's go to Learn Scratch. You see the article right here, How to Move a Sprite on the Stage. And when I click on it, we have the article we started last time and that we just finished. Or, you know, what we're going to release right now. So that has the video. It has the things to read. Make a prediction section. Yeah, I mean, we're going to... I actually I kind of don't like the way that this looks. But we'll leave it for now. We're just... You know, we can't go too crazy with the... I'm gonna do my best to let this one go. Yeah, I mean it hurts a little bit because I don't like the spacing to be all like wacky, but that's fine. We have the coordinate plane video, we have the move sprites randomly video, and detecting events when sprites should move. And why is this? Oh yeah, wait, this GIF isn't playing. Try writing a script that causes the sprite to move to a random location on the stage when it's clicked. Your project should appear like this. Do I have to click it to make it run? Oh no. Okay, so maybe it's not working. Let me refresh. Maybe it just played once. No, it's just not playing. What if I click and drag it up here and let's open it in a new tab. Why isn't it playing? So let's Google WordPress autoplay GIF. And in the meantime, let me go back to my media and see if that, maybe I didn't save it right or something. No, it's a GIF. It's there. Now, I mean, it looks right. It's playing right now. Just update it. Why isn't it auto playing? When creating a new image sizes for animated GIFs, WordPress ends up saving only the first frame of the GIF. If you add any of those image sizes into a poster page, they will be static GIF images with no animation. Having said that, let's take a look at how to properly add animated GIFs in WordPress without losing animation. So we got to do add media, you need to click on the upload files button and select the animated GIF file from the computer to upload it. Okay, so let's, I guess we might have to re-upload it. Let's delete this for now. Okay to delete. And we'll follow those instructions, which is right here. Wait, where are my instructions? Right here. And put it right over here so we could read it as we go through it. I have my GIF right here, the Scratch clicking game GIF, I named it. So let us go back to that post that we just created. Or that we just, updated and created. How to move a sprite on the stage. Let's go back to edit. And let's follow those instructions. This should be deleted, removed. Remove this block. All right. What does it say to do? Add media. But see, this is using the old image. It's pretty much the same. So upload, right? We're going to upload again. Upload the Scratch clicking game. Choose. Okay, it's uploading. Select the full size under the attachment display settings. So attachment display, maybe it's in advanced. No. Full size. So instead of large, we'll do full size. Okay. After that, click on the Insert into Post button to continue. WordPress is now insert your animated GIF into the post editor. Okay, so I guess instead of large size, you just have to do full size. And we'll see if that actually worked. Let's hit update. Let's go back to our website. Let me close out everything else that I opened. Let's go back to Mr. G Coding. Learn Scratch, how to move a sprite on the stage. And there it is. Now it's auto playing. Beautiful. So that is that's nice. That is how I would that's what I wanted to do. So it's nice that it works. Okay. Good enough for me. And it looks like it shrinks down when the page is smaller, which is perfect. All right, that's great. So this article is done. Let me go back to my text edit. All right, so we're done. We created a GIF for our challenge. Okay, so now how to set starting positions for sprites. So once you get sprites moving all over the place, I think the next logical step is to create an event. So, sorry, to use the event, like the when the green flag is clicked block, to set a starting position for the sprite. So I like that. I'm going to do that next. Although the thing I have to after that is how to use events. But didn't I have that in how to move a sprite? Maybe it'll get its own post. So it'll be introduced in how to move a sprite, but then I'll make it its own post later on. But for now, I think the absolute next logical step or article would be how to set starting positions for sprites. Okay, so let's go back to WordPress, and we'll add new. How to set starting positions for sprites. Okay. All right. Actually, I didn't say congratulations, you've just done something in the last post, and I want it to be consistent with doing that. We'll have to go back to it, but I won't forget. And one last thing I also wanted to see was, what does the featured image look like when we look at our page? So so if I go to the Scratch page, if I just click Learn Scratch, down here at the bottom, whoa, it's missing the featured image. Uh-oh. Let's save this draft and we'll go back to our how to move a sprite on the stage. We have the featured, oops, not looks, but we have the featured image. It doesn't have a featured image. And we just forgot to set it. So there we go. We uploaded it, set featured image. we disabled it. I guess we just never saved it, or I don't know what I did. But now that it's updated, now if I refresh the main Scratch page, there we go. We have our image. We have the image that the hover doesn't look right. I have to figure out how to fix that later on. But we have our image the way that we wanted it to look. I'm happy with that. I could live with that. Okay. Let's go back to our posts. So we want to work on how to set starting positions for sprites. That's a long title. I'm trying to think if I should change it to be, moving or adding sprites, moving sprites, and just have like a short title. But part of me likes having how to do something. Maybe I shouldn't even do your first project. Just do how to move a character on screen. No, maybe not. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. Now it's bothering me, but we'll see if it's just because I'm overreacting, or if I'll change it later. So let's go with this for now. How to set starting positions for sprites. I'm gonna open it up in a new tab. So I could just go back to this left one because I keep going back to that. All right, so now what are we going to say to someone that's just learning and they want to know how to set the starting position for a sprite? Okay. If you use many motion blocks, and test you may find that the sprite, you may find yourself clicking and dragging the sprite and I can make a nice GIF for that too. You may find yourself clicking and dragging the sprite back to a starting position if you use many motion blocks. How about this? No, not if. How about once you start using motion and event blocks, and testing out your code, you may find yourself clicking and dragging the sprite back to a starting position each time you want to test it out. How about this? Each time you want to test out your code. And we'll remove it from up here. So once you start using motion and event blocks, you may find yourself clicking and dragging the sprite back to a starting position each time you want to test out your code. Yes, I like that. Okay. Maybe we'll do we'll take the challenge, the solution to the previous challenge, which was this, and we'll continue from here. In the previous article, not in the previous article, we'll do in how to, what did I name that? So we'll actually use the title and we'll link to it. We'll link to our own post. In how to move a sprite on the stage. Oh, it actually creates a link for us. The challenge asked you to make the sprites go to a random position each time it was clicked. Suppose you want the user to, or the sprite to start in the middle of the stage before the game begins. To solve this, but I'm just giving them the answer, but I guess that's what I'll do. Let's see. Once you start using the motion event blocks, you may find yourself clicking and dragging this. Clicking and dragging. Let's connect those just because it's like click dragging or clicking and dragging the sprite back to a starting position each time you want to test out your code. In how to move a sprite on the stage, the challenge was to make the sprite go to a random so that's a motion block. So I like using the colors and like bolding the text that is go to a random position each time that it was clicked. And that's the event. So we're gonna use our custom color, which was FFD 500 was the yellow that for events. Challenge was to make the sprite go to each time it was clicked. Suppose you want the sprite to start in the middle of the stage before the game begins. Suppose you want the sprite to start in the middle of the stage before the game begins. The difficulty I'm having right now is like how to word it or what to say, not like me being stuck on what to do really. It's like, how do I want to say what I want to do, what I want them to do. The challenge was to make the sprite go to a random position each time it was clicked. Suppose you want the sprite to start in the middle of the stage before the game begins. You may think that you should add a go to 0, 0 block before no. Let's just give the answer. To accomplish this, add another event hat block to the programming area. Add the when green to the programming area. Add the when green flag is clicked let's go with that custom color again. It's an event, so it's FD 500. Add the when green flag clicked hat block to the programming area. Separate from the solution to the challenge. Separate from the code that solved the previous challenge. Suppose you want the sprite to start in the middle of the stage before the game begins. To accomplish this, add the blank. You can't connect two hat blocks to one another, but you can have multiple event blocks, hat blocks, but you can have multiple event blocks in the programming area. In the programming area, waiting for some, but you can have multiple event blocks with different scripts, with different code. Let's just say code instructions in the programming area. So you can't, I'm gonna italicize that, but you can have multiple, and I'll italicize can. Okay, so the solution will be this. But not that. We'll make it a 0, 0. And we'll clean this up a little bit. Okay. Actually, let me let's create that in Scratch blocks. So when green flag is clicked, let's go to X0, Y0. And then we have another hat block, which is when this sprite clicked, go to random position. There we go. So that is the solution. And those both go in the programming area. Do I leave it like that? You know what? I kind of like the idea of taking a screenshot of this and not actually just putting the scripts, because someone might not know where they belong. But if I take a screenshot of this, they'll know. So let's do that. No, I don't like that. The reason I don't like it is because I didn't have it centered well. So let's go with that. Maybe the whole thing. Let me think. No problem, Koopa. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate. I'm glad it helped. I'm glad those videos helped. Yeah, now I'm trying to help some people with Scratch. I think we'll leave it at this. Okay. So now this is, that's just fine. Let's upload. Let me rename it first. Let's make this the 2 scripts. That's what we'll name it. Make sure it's centered. And the caption we'll give it is when a user starts I should say the user should click on the green flag before starting the game. And I'll write see below. All right. In our solution, we added the go-to Wow, I can't copy paste this. It's crazy. All right, I guess we'll just have to remake it. Go to the when clicked. And this is when the green flag is clicked. So I'm going to add that inline image. We'll use that green flag. Let's bold that, make this this light blue, and we'll make the when green flag clicked, we'll make that the right color. So we'll use FFD 500. Oops, there we go. In our solution, we added the go-to to the when green flag clicked hat block. Now we're able to detect both events separately. Both events, and I should say when the sprite is clicked and when the green flag is clicked separately. And Scratch will know what to do. No. So now we're able to detect both events separately and tell Scratch what to do. And tell the sprite what to do. I think that's good enough. We don't need to make like really long posts for each one. I think that's simple enough. 0, 0. So maybe I should mention that. We used 0, 0 as the input to the go-to block. To get the sprite in the center of the stage. If you're not sure, and let's start linking to we'll link to the other post. So that's going to be our it's going to be the same section though. I'm not going to say if you're not sure. That's it. If you're not sure, I'm still happy you're on this page reading it somewhere. Somehow you found it or stumbled upon it. Okay. In the center of the stage. So now let's create a challenge. And I keep forgetting how I set up these challenges. How to move a sprite on the stage. Challenge. Move when sprite is clicked. Let's maybe we'll create a challenge using other events. and challenge people to use other events when the space key is pressed. Okay, so this is a great challenge. Move the character to, and I know I'm almost in the way here, so I'm sorry if you cannot see. Although I'm probably just apologizing to myself because I don't think anyone's ever going to see this but me. Or, I mean, whatever. We have about 8 hours and 12 minutes to go. We're doing really well. We're doing well on time. Could be doing better, but we're okay. We're happy with what we got. Why do I have all these missed calls? From some scammers, probably. What are you going to do? Okay. Challenge. Oh, and this is going to be a heading, not going to be a paragraph. So heading H3. Maybe I'll change the size of the headings later on. They don't really pop out too much, so maybe that's an issue. And by the way, let's categorize this as Scratch. Where is it? Right here, Scratch. This is using the events palette and the motion palette. Okay, let's save this draft. Move the character. Move the character. Move the character. Moving the character. This is a challenge. Moving the character with arrow keys. Not array keys, arrow keys. Okay, there we go. Moving the sprite. Moving the sprite with arrow keys. With the arrow keys. All right, so let's write this challenge up. And should I make another GIF showing what to do? Possibly. Okay, moving the sprite with the arrow keys. So let's okay. Add or create multiple scripts that allow you to detect specific key presses and move your sprite on the screen accordingly. I recommend using or recommend coding the arrow keys. I keep writing array, and I think it's just like my brain, like second nature, because I use array all the time. 51, 51, 51, we just passed. That was cool. I recommend coding the arrow keys to move your sprite on the stage. And you know what? Maybe I should make a solution. Maybe I could make a solution video for this. Or maybe not. I already have a thing, probably. Do I have a... How to move sprites randomly? No. Do I not have a how to move the arrow keys? Oh, sorry, how to move a sprite with the arrow keys? How to program, whatever, right? Arrow keys to move sprites. Perfect. I did have that. I knew I did that. Okay, so we're going to use that video as a solution. I recommend... Try creating... We got to use the try. Try creating multiple scripts that allow you to detect specific key presses and move key press events. And move your sprite. And then... that allow you to detect specific key press events and move the sprite on the screen accordingly. for example, when the left arrow key is pressed, the sprite should move to the left on the stage. Should move a small distance to the left. A small distance to the left on the stage. In the stage, on the stage. Okay? If you need more guidance, check out the following video. And now let's import that video. No, not a video. So that would be if I wanted to upload my own video onto this server and host it myself. But I just want to use YouTube. And let's grab the link. Embed it. Center it. And we're good. Save the draft. And I think we're done. Unless there's anything else. I could make this. You know what? These videos are just like way too wide. So maybe what I could do is. So we have these classes. What we can do is maybe set a width. But the thing is, if I set the width. Like to a certain number of pixels, then on a small screen or on a tablet it might not look right. Whereas right now it is responsive, so it is increasing and decreasing with the page width. But you know what? Let's leave it at that. Otherwise, I'd rather make more progress and make more articles than spend the time making everything look absolutely perfect. Even though you might be questioning me saying that, because there are some times where I go really slowly because I'm trying to create certain images and stuff like that. But we could scratch code and we'll get there. Scratch MIT, scratch code, scratch green flag, scratch sprite. Scratch interface, scratch coordinates matter for this, moving the sprite, scratch events, motion, because we got to move the block, scratch sprites, because we might have multiple, scratch why is it coordinates? Oh, I didn't select it, I guess, before. All right, so I think that's okay. We need a featured image. So how to set starting positions for sprites. So I think I like using the image that I kind of used. Oh, wait, whoa. Starting positions for sprites. I made a video on that too. So let's actually bring this video up to the top. Insert after. Or sorry, insert before. And let's add another YouTube video. That's awesome. So there we have our starting positions video. Or maybe we should move it down a little bit because we want the, Whoa. Where is it? What did I do? No, this should go below the video. The video should go below everything. Above the challenge. There we go. I like that better. That looks much better. So for this featured image, I want something that kind of looks like this. I like the this image that I used. So let's find that. So we're gonna look at we're gonna Google track starting line. So one of these. Let's see if we can find one that's doesn't give us an issue. Or I was going to say if there was just one person, then we could put the scratch right here. Like, okay, let me see what we could find with if we could reuse it for modifications. It would be cool to kind of put like the cat's face on this, but maybe it's it's silly. Actually, I think I like that idea. Let's copy this image, royalty free photo. Thank you. Let's see what that what that will look like. So let me by the way, 0 dropped frames so far, and we're an hour and 45 in. So I you know, maybe just being connected directly to the router is the way to go. Yes, and we're still live. We're still good. Okay. Actually, I think that my connection is probably even faster. Yeah, this thing's flying. But I think on Wi-Fi it's about the same. It just probably drops more packets for some reason. Don't know why, but it just does. But, you know, when we're connected, maybe it's just better. Yeah, and the upload speed is just horrible. Okay. Let me create a 150 by 150 image. Pixel image. 150 by 150. And there is my my cutout there. Let's all right, I don't want to do this. All right, let's close. We still need to go further, and I want to get the scratch head. So scratch MIT. We'll type in head, and let's see if we can get this guy. How does that look? Well, it's not the. We need a transparent one. That one. Let's see if this works. I mean, come on, how funny does that look? It's funny to me, even if it's not to you. I like that. I mean, we'll try to go as narrow as possible, but at some point we're not going to be able to get to exactly 150 by 150. So let's just center it, and we'll take it as is. Just kind of looks like the cat has some hair there. But, you know, what are you going to do? There, that looks good. We'll give it, you know, we'll put a shape behind it, just a black shape. So that way it looks okay. Do I like that? Or should I just leave it white? No, I kind of like giving it a background. Maybe, you know what? This is going to be silly. You know what? Maybe instead of a black background, we use narrow bars. We'll make them black narrow bars, and we'll make them transparent. So this is it. And we'll match, we'll give it like a frame, basically. And because it's 150 by 150, we should be able to just turn it like to the left or to the right. And it should fit perfectly. Yes, it does. So we'll just give it like a little tiny frame. And this is the, you know, this Scratch the Cat's high school track photo picture thing. Scratch starting line. Let us download this PNG. Okay. This is going to be in my downloads folder, I believe. Oh, my desktop. So desktop. So that's where I can grab it from. So let's set the featured image. Upload from the desktop. Scratch starting line. Choose it. I'll say scratch at the starting line. Or starting position. Scratch starting position. Maybe that's a better title for it. Set as the featured image, but we're going to make sure that we disable the featured image. And I think we're good. We gave it events, motion, scratch. We gave it tags, I believe. Yeah, we gave it a bunch of tags. We gave it the categories. Now we can save the draft. We can publish it. We're ready to publish. And let's see what that looks like. Let's go back to our website. Let me just stretch this out a little bit. Go back to the top. Oh, wait, we didn't add it to the menu bar, so we're not going to be able to see it here. So let's add it to the menu bar first. So that is going to be in Appearance Menus. And it's in our posts. We're going to do how to set starting positions for sprites. Add it to the menu. Now we could drag it up here. And that is going to be our 5th article. So let's give it a label of 5. Yes. Save menu. Refresh the page here. And now it should be down there. There we go. So now you could see, just like that, just in a few minutes, we're able to get another post up. Okay. So let's see. Online Scratch interface, how to set starting positions. And this is my little article on that. So that looks pretty good, I think. The user should click on the green flag before starting the game, but they don't have to. And there's my video, and there's my challenge, moving the sprite with the arrow keys. Figure it out. Good luck. All right, now, now we could. Oh yeah, and so I want to see in Learn Scratch. I want to see how the featured image gets, shown or presented. So we have Learn Scratch, just a little bit about Scratch, an introduction, and there it is. Look at that. How to set starting positions for sprites. Part of me wants to make the head bigger so that we don't see the hair, but you know what? Whatever. Or maybe I should put boxes around everything. I kind of like the way that it looks. It's a funny picture. How to move a sprite on stage. Well, I think I have images of everything, so I could just remake it one day. But for now, not a priority. We want to learn Scratch. We want to start here. We want to start doing things here. What is computer science? Latest topics. This one doesn't say latest topics. Huh. Whatever. I don't remember how I said all that, but I don't want to worry about it now. I just want to keep making articles. Keep writing articles, keep updating our website. So let's go back to text edit. And we finished how to set starting positions for sprites. Great. How to move a sprite. Done. How to use events. Okay. What could I do for this? What could I do for how to use events? I kind of did it in how to move a sprite. Maybe I should take it out. Let's see what I did in how to move a sprite on the stage. The coordinate plane. I mean, there's just I mean, I could have broken this up, I think. The motion blocks. Maybe I break it up. Maybe it's just Learn Scratch. One of them is moving a sprite on the stage. And then I do the coordinate plane as a separate article. And then I do motion blocks as the different blocks as a separate article. I mean, maybe that's just what I should have done. What did I name this? How to move a sprite on the stage. Detecting events. When sprites should move. I mean, maybe I could have it in multiple places because not everyone is going to follow this from start to finish. So maybe I can borrow from what I wrote here in the how to move a sprite. I could borrow from it and create a new post for it, which would be right now. labeled how to use events. I think I have to think about it, because right now all my articles are like very specific. It's like how to do X and Y, how to do X or how to do Y or whatever, right? Let me just look at it again and think. Keep losing my place here. How to add a sprite, how to move a sprite on the stage. And I didn't put in Scratch for all of these. So maybe I should remove it for how to add a sprite. See, it's the little things. You go through it little by little, and then you start catching these, these potential errors or mistakes or whatever. So let's go to my posts. We're going to rename it from how to add a sprite. We don't need to have in Scratch, unless we have it in every article, but we're probably not. So I updated there, but is that going to update it everywhere? How to add a sprite. I updated it here. How to add a sprite. And this one, not in the menu. So we got to fix the menu also. If I can find it. So we'll go back to our menus. How to add a sprite. And remove the in Scratch part. There it is, updated. So if I learn Scratch, how to add a sprite, how to move a sprite on the stage, how to set starting positions for sprites. So what's next? How to, because I wouldn't say how to use event blocks. I think it just comes through naturally. Like, I don't need to have a how-to events block thing. How to use events block. But I think what does make sense is how to make sprites talk. That could be the next. That makes, I think, more sense for once you got the starting positions, once you know how to move a sprite programmatically, now you know how to add a sprite. Start making them do stuff. Start making them talk. We don't need to have a separate events thing here yet. So I'm probably gonna. Can I strike it out? I almost want to. Let me just make it really small right now. And this means that I don't think I'm not gonna probably do this. So or maybe I'll write prob not gonna do this as its own post. And we'll make that red just so I could see that. All right, so we're gonna move that down to the bottom. Oops, post backdrop color switcher. All right. We're almost at our 10 articles. Oh, we're halfway there. We have 5 articles right now. So once I have 10, I could start posting on Twitter. And, maybe once a week, once every other day or something, just so I don't clog up. Uh-oh. We have 14 dropped frames. So something happened. 2 hours in, 14 dropped frames. Usually I'm in if I'm doing well, probably have 200 to 500 dropped frames at this point. So it's not impossible, even when it's directly plugged into the wall. That's unfortunate. But 14 is a lot better than 5. So, hopefully this keeps up. Okay. How to make sprites talk. Yes. And so now we're going to introduce the looks palette. And we're going to do that next. So I'm going to, I'm going to give it an in progress tag. And make this orange. There we go. That looks nice. So we're in progress. We're figuring out how to make sprites talk. So that's the next article. Let's create a new post. How to make... the thing is, if you say how to make sprites talk, there's 2 things you can do in Scratch. You can create speech bubbles, or you can actually play the sound, or you can do text to speech, or you can record your own sound of yourself talking. So there's a lot of different options. So maybe I should be a little bit more specific, and maybe I could do, how to make speech bubbles. how to make Scratch speech bubbles, or how to create speech bubbles on a sprite. Maybe that's what I'll rename it as. How to create speech bubbles. How to create speech bubbles. And then how to play a sound. Because I know I have a video on how to. I think I have a video on speech bubbles too, actually. But I also have a video on how to do text to speech. Let me close out of Camtasia because I don't need it right now. But I do have a video on text to speech, if I'm not mistaken. And I have a video on like using the say blocks. So the different say blocks. So there are two different say blocks. So there's the say block, and then there's the say for X number of seconds block. So depending on your use case, you got to use one or the other. Okay, so let's start thinking that through. What are we gonna write? What did I just close? How to add a sprite in Scratch. Okay, I can close that. I think, right? Yeah, that's old. Okay. How to... What did I say I was going to call it? How to create speech bubbles. How to create sprite speech bubbles. Or how to create speech bubbles for sprites. Or how to make speech bubbles for sprites. I think it'd be nice to have it'd be nice to actually show that. But they've already seen it kind of. But maybe, let me see. I need a bat. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to use this this screenshot I just took. Let's rename this Scratch at Home Plate. And we're going to import that in our post. So we are going to bring in that image, and I'll figure out what I'm going to say based on that image. So let me upload it first, and Scratch at Home Plate, and I'll figure out how to use it. Okay. Paragraph. I need a bat. Okay. One way to make a project more engaging for a user is to allow the sprites to communicate. One way to make a project more engaging for a user. Not for a user. Obviously it's for a user. One way to make a project more engaging is by allowing the sprites to communicate to the user or to appear to communicate with one another, with other sprites. In the picture above, the cat sprite says, I need a bat. The cat sprite is standing at home plate and is saying, and says, I need a bat. Okay, what's next? One way to make a project where sprites communicate to the user or appear to communicate with other sprites. In the picture above, the cat sprite is standing at home plate and says, "I need a bat." To write or to create a speech bubble. To create a speech bubble. And actually, now I'm thinking like how to add a background. Should be one of my things. Yeah, how to change the backdrop. It should probably be next. So I think because I have like the baseball thing here, I'm gonna have the backdrop next. And I'll move sound down one, but I don't think it'll be there. We'll figure it out. One way to make a project more engaging by allowing sprites to communicate with the user. To communicate text. Communicate something to the user, or to appear to communicate, or to appear to talk with other sprites. In the picture above, the cat sprite is standing at home plate and says, "I need a bat." To create a speech bubble, click on the looks palette, and here I want to get a picture of that looks palette here, so that way I could actually use it. So we're gonna go with 180 by 140. That looks good. Let me shrink this a bit. And that was saved onto the desktop right over here. Looks palette icon. Okay, we're starting to get a lot of pictures in here. You can see, like, you know, as you do more and more, if you don't delete these pictures or organize them, it can get messy. Hold on. Did I ever fix? Oh no. I just got like a flashback and remembered that I think I was gonna fix the cat. Hold on, let me show you what I mean. First I gotta find it. Let me find it and then I'll explain what I'm trying to do here. There's somewhere where I had the. Oh no, what's this? I had the user click the looks palette, or not the looks palette, the motion palette or something. Or no, click on the, when you add a sprite, click on this. Did I replace it? Did I delete it from the other one? Did I delete it from the menu, I guess? Not the menu, the media library. So that's something I don't remember. So let's go back to our media library. And there's that. Did I delete this? I want to delete this one, because this one is not the right size. This one's 134 by 126. It's not centered in the middle. It's not perfect. So I'm going to remove it, and I hope that it's all okay. How to move a sprite on the stage. Motion palette. No, not move a sprite on the stage. It was adding a sprite. That was fine. That was the featured image is fine. Yeah, I guess I did it. I just didn't remove it from the media library. So I just did that. So now I can continue working on how to make speech bubbles. Let me bring that back over here to the left side. I mean, that's too wide. Actually, it's okay on the right. What am I doing here? We'll have our WordPress open on the left. We'll have our post open on the right. How to make speech bubbles for sprites. How sprites can say speech bubbles. Nah, we'll leave it like that. In the picture above, the cat sprite is standing at home plate and says, "I need a bat." To create a speech bubble, click on the. Now let's import the looks palette icon. So it's the looks palette icon. I'm probably Gonna have to say what its width should be. Yep. So I'm gonna say, let's say 40. Too small. How about 60? A little bit too big. So Goldilocks would say that 50 looks just about right. There we go. Click on the looks palette along the left side of the Scratch interface. All right, so once you click on the looks palette, you see a list of different things, commands that you could do. So let's start describing some of those things that you can do. The looks palette contains blocks that allow you to create speech and thinking bubbles, change the appearance of the sprite, let's do a size, color, effects, costumes, such as its size. The looks palette, I think I should make that purple. Contains blocks that allow you to create speech and thinking bubbles, change the appearance of the sprite, and and hide and show hide sprites as well. Okay. But we're going to focus just on speech bubbles for this one. Okay. To make a sprite say something in a speech bubble, there are two different blocks that accomplish this task. The say for seconds block and say blocks. Let's give it that purple color. Let's bold it. I'll remove the. There are two different blocks that accomplish this task. Say for whatever number of seconds, and the say block. Is it blocks or block? Say for, maybe we could say the, we'll just go with this. and say blocks. So we'll just say the say for blank seconds and say blocks. Each block can be, each block has, each block can be, all right, hold on, let me think for a second. Each block has its pros and cons, and I think after this article I'm going to take a break and go eat, and then I'll come back for another session of, I'll probably shoot for 4 hours in the second one. But yeah, after this article I'll go eat because I am starving. Okay, so each block has its pros and cons based on the needs of the coder. Based on your needs. Based on your needs as the coder. Based on your needs, so I want to be more personal. Based on your needs as the programmer or coder. Okay. The say block. Let me put the say first. Actually, what I could do is this. I can cut this out. Say for, and I can make this purple here. The say and say for X seconds blocks. Each block has its pros and cons based on your needs based on your needs. Obviously, you are the programmer. Based on maybe each block has its pros and cons. The say block. So the say block displays a speech bubble and displays a speech bubble until it is replaced with another speech bubble. Replaced with another. Yeah, the say block displays a speech bubble until it's replaced with another speech bubble. If you use one say block, actually, I can give an example. Let me create an example with scratch blocks. So here I'm just going to have say, why won't this go away? We'll use that. So let me save that, and I'm gonna throw that into Google Drawings. Let's start a new one. Oops, I did not mean to. I don't think I changed it, so I think we're okay. And let's import. Where's this image? Insert the image from the computer, and that was Scratch Blocks. Actually, I think it's in downloads. Scratch Blocks 3. Yep. So now here, I'm going to crop it. And there we go. Now we can make this a little bit smaller and now use this actual image in our project. Looks good. So this is going to be the say block example. Let me download the image, and it's on our desktop. So that's good. Now we could use it in our project. let's add an image. Upload the say block example. Go with that height. That looks good. Make sure it's centered, and we'll leave it at that. It says in the block, if the block below runs, the sprite will continuously say, why won't this go away? Ooh, that rhymes. Okay. In order to make the I already said. We'll leave it at that. We'll forever say, why won't this go away? If you know that you want to display a speech bubble for a certain number of seconds, if you know that you display a speech bubble for a specified for a certain number of seconds, use the say for seconds block instead. So let's bold it. Let's make this purple. And there we go. And I want to have a picture of it. It doesn't make sense for me to show one and not show the other. Say for 2 seconds. This will go away in 2 seconds. This speech bubble will disappear in 2 seconds. Here, let me export it. Same idea. I got to bring it into Google Drawings, create another one. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have so many files. Let's import that. Scratchblocks 4. All right, we'll go with that. This speech bubble will disappear in 2 seconds. Say for 2 seconds. If I could type, say for 2 seconds. Example, I think. So let's export that. And let's bring that into our thing. Let's bring in the image of say for 2 seconds example. We'll center it, and yeah, I like the way it looks. Okay, that's good. If you know that you want to display a speech bubble for a certain amount of time, use the say for X seconds block instead. So someone could see below. What's up? Yeah, I did what you wanted. And careful, don't trip over the wire. I'm gonna finish it a little bit. I'm gonna eat. Hold on, what's happening here? Okay, if you know that you want to display a speech bubble for a certain amount of time, for a specific amount of time, use the save instead. This block can be helpful if you're trying to say multiple things to the user or create a conversation between various sprites. We'll leave it at that. I think that'll be that's good enough for now. I think it's good. I think that's it. Let's go with let's create a heading and give someone a challenge. So the challenge, and we're gonna say challenge. So we'll create a challenge that causes that will allow the users to use both of these different types of blocks. So we're gonna say what are we gonna write? Challenge sprite instructions. So let's say try creating a conversation, or it wouldn't really be a conversation, more of a monologue. Create a monologue, but I feel like a lot of people might not know what a monologue is. Try creating. We'll do a monologue. We'll just, you have to Google it if you don't know, or we could take the definition, monologue, maybe a conversation by one person. So a speech given by a long speech given by one sprite, or a long speech given by one person. A speech given by one person. Try creating a monologue using both of the say blocks. And after this, I'm going to have my video. Try creating a monologue, a speech given by one. So that tells people what it is if they don't know the definition. Yeah, let me bold it just so people know that's the definition. Try creating a monologue using both of the say blocks. Be very careful when make the character's last speech bubble never end. A never ending make the character's last speech bubble never ending. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. And now the last thing we'll do is we'll bring in my YouTube video on how to use the different say blocks, or when to use the different say blocks. And I think that's good enough for me. All right, so we're going to save the draft. The thing is, if I publish it now, here we go. We have to do tags. So Scratch programming, Scratch coding, Scratch MIT, Scratch code, Scratch sprite, Scratch sprites. This is really annoying. Scratch Scratch speech bubbles. Scratch. Dialogue? No, conversation. No. Looks palette. Scratch. Let's see. Say blocks. We'll go with that. Now we need a speech. We need a featured image. You got to think about that for a second. In the meantime, the categories, it's not uncategorized. It's going to be in the Scratch, in the looks palette. That's pretty much it. And all right, let me save this draft for now. Let me think about what I want to do for the you know what? For the featured image, I'm going to, I mean, if I select this, can I move, like it's, can I change like where, apply changes to thumbnail. So for the thumbnail, image crop. Hold on. Apply changes to thumbnail. Thumbnail settings. I kind of want to move it to the, or can I do like 436 by, well, actually no. Maybe I should do 400 by 236. No, I mean, I can't really see what it's doing. You know what? We're just going to leave that as the thumbnail. And we're going to make sure that we disable the featured image in the actual post. So let's save the draft. We're going to publish it. Now we're going to make sure that in our project, we bring in the post. Let me send that again. How to make speech bubbles. That's going to be number 6. How to make speech bubbles for sprites. You save the menu. And let's see what it looks like. So Mr. G coding, learn Scratch. Now we have 6 articles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How to make speech bubbles for sprites. And there we go. Looks good. I'm happy with it. If we go down here to learn Scratch, why is it not showing up here? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably only showing the first 5 posts. Oh my goodness. So how are we going to fix that? Edit page, latest posts. Maybe we show the latest 10. Wait, why wouldn't it show here? Did I not? Wait, hold on. Documents. Block. Hide block setting. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Display. Oh, wait. There. I have to select it. So we show the latest post content, post excerpt, oldest to newest, categories. Number of items here. Let's put 10 and hit, actually, whatever. We want to put all of our items in here. Let's go 50. We don't have 50, but maybe eventually we'll get there. Hit update. And there it is. We have how to make speech bubbles for sprites showing up. Let me just actually preview it. So this will take us to the site. This is what it looks like in real life. We have our things here. Let me scroll down and we see it. How to make speech bubbles for sprites. How to set starting positions for sprites. How to move a sprite on the stage. How to add a sprite. I like that. I think it looks good. We're going to go with that. We're going to take a break for a little bit. Maybe for a couple of hours or an hour or two. And I will be back a little bit later because I'm going to need to stream again. There is no choice. I need to put in some hours because tomorrow I have work. Tomorrow is what's today's date? Today's the 30th. Tomorrow is the 31st. I have work tomorrow. And I won't be able to stream like 9 hours if I don't get the hours in, or 8 hours. So we're at 52 hours, 48 minutes and change. We're going to take a break right now. So we are 7 hours and 11 minutes away right now. So we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll get to work again. All right. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a little bit, or in part 2. And just so you know, we're at actually, maybe I got to pause the timer. But while I'm doing that, I've only dropped 14 frames in the last 2.5 hours. So being connected to the wall has proven to be much better than not being connected and just using Wi-Fi. So we are happy.